Welcome back here, guys, to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. I'm just here catching you up on some of the NFL free agency rumors that were making the rounds this weekend, certainly with all the teams in Indianapolis still for the Combine, a lot of the front office personnel, the coaches, and, of course, media types there as well. Just a lot of rumors swirling around. Here to give you my take on those. And first of all, the rumor surrounding the Jets and Josh McCown, that the Jets might be interested in bringing in Josh McCown as a backup, presumably, to Geno Smith. And, my response to that is, why wouldn't they be interested? Why wouldn't any team that's looking to add a veteran backup quarterback, why wouldn't Josh McCown be the #1 guy on their list? I mean, if you look at the guys that are going to be available and that are available as of now in free agency, he may be the best quarterback, period, available. Never mind a guy who's 35 years old to start of next year, accepts a backup role, doesn't complain that he's in one, and oh, by the way, went in last year and threw 13 touchdowns and only 1 interceptions in relief of Jay Cutler in Chicago. So I think ultimately McCown either ends up back in Chicago or with Tampa Bay. All right, but I think it's natural for any team to really explore bringing a guy like Josh McCown, arguably the best backup quarterback in the NFL heading into next season, into their program, especially if you have a young quarterback like Geno Smith, who is developing. Also, just to update you guys, there's been no players franchise tagged as of yet. There was only 8 franchise tagged all last year as a whole. We haven't had anyone franchise tagged yet. I think once the teams get back to their respective cities here this week, maybe look for some action there on the franchise tag. Remember, the 2-week window started last Monday and goes through this upcoming week. So I'll keep you updated on anyone who does get tagged. But just a short update there. No one has been franchise tagged as of yet. And like I suspected a couple weeks ago, the Ravens are very much interested, you're hearing now, in bringing Darryl Smith back. And for good reasons. I mean, he stepped into a situation there at inside linebacker where he didn't replace Ray Lewis, but he took a lot of the same responsibilities that Lewis had as a Raven at that inside linebacker spot. Had over 120 tackles, a 10-year veteran, doing it on a 1-year deal. I think it makes sense for Ozzie Newsome and the Ravens to bring him back. Look for a deal to get done with him before free agency starts. This way they can really focus their attention on big-ticket items that they have here, like Eugene Monroe, their prized offensive tackle, who I'm sure, if they get something done with Darryl Smith, they would move on to Monroe and try to get something done, again, before free agency. Something that came out today that it's been surprising me, the Buccaneers' take on their quarterback position. And their GM came out and said today that they will absolutely be looking for a veteran quarterback here in the offseason. I'm getting the feeling this new regime is not as high on Mike Glennon as the previous one. I think Mike Glennon can play, especially if given another year to mature. But I don't think it could hurt to bring in some veteran competition. I'd just be surprised if they write off Mike Glennon completely. But when you hear the GM say they're going to bring in a veteran quarterback, look, there's only so many veteran quarterbacks that would even be viable enough to bring in. I mean, they're not bringing in Josh Freeman. So that leaves basically Matt Schaub, Michael Vick, Matt Castle, or the aforementioned Josh McCown. Rumors are they're very high on McCown. If they don't land him, do you pay a guy like Schaub or Vick a premium as a backup, because they're going to be looked at as top flight backups? Do you pay one of those guys as a backup and have him essentially putting a lot of pressure here on a guy like Glennon in his development, in early stages of his development? I think if you get Josh McCown, I don't think he's a perceived threat, to take the job over and start for the next 2 or 3 years. But if you bring in Vic or you bring in Schaub, I think that's there. And now something looming over Glennon. And are you really even giving him a shot if you bring in a guy like that? We'll see. This new regime certainly has the right to do whatever they feel is right at the quarterback position. It'll be interesting to see which veteran they choose, and more importantly, at what price tag they can bring that guy in at. The Browns have been it seems like there's news on the Browns every day here in the offseason, but they're making Alex Mack their #1 priority. I hope that was the case the whole time here during the free agency period. He's the one player that's a free agent for them that's the best player at his position, maybe in the league, certainly top 5. TJ Ward seems to be not falling out of favor, but I think with Mike Pettin at that safety spot, they want more of a cover guy. I expect Jairus Byrd one way or another, okay, to make his way to Cleveland. I think TJ Ward goes on somewhere else. And Alex Mack, look, it's being reported that it's a matter of the Browns selling their organization to Alex Mack. I think Mack, and rightfully so, has been frustrated about some of the things that have gone on with that organization here since he's been there. He now has a chance to go wherever he wants to go. There's a lot of teams with cap room that need help on the interior of the offensive line. Does he want to stay in Cleveland? Does he want to move on? Look for Ray Farmer in the bunch, and Mike Pettin especially, to really have to sell Alex Mack into staying with the Cleveland Browns. And lastly, Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman is a guy that, if you listen to my top 50 free agent countdown, it's a kind of situation where I think he's more valuable to the Patriots than any other team. And in turn, his value to the Patriots is going to be more than to other teams. So I think mutually, this is a deal that both sides are probably looking to get done. The Patriots probably have a little bit of buyer's remorse in terms of the contract they gave Danny Amendola. Maybe if they didn't spend so much on Amendola, they would have a little bit more money to devote to Edelman. Maybe Amendola is an outside shot to be cut by the team. I don't expect that. But Edelman, over 100 catches last year, just over 1,000 yards receiving. I would be really surprised if the Patriots didn't bring back Edelman and Talib, because they're two productive players, two players that fit nicely into their system and that are valuable to the Patriots, that won't cost them an over amount of money because, again, these players I think are worth more to the Patriots than certainly any other team would perceive them. But let me know what you guys think of some of these rumors here circulating this Combine weekend. I'll be coming at you with a draft video, guys, here very soon. Be sure to hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, guys. NFL coverage 365 days a year here on my YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.